Evening, everyone,
Hello.
and welcome to the Scottish Ghost Company, Part 5, Ghosts of Glasgow. And tonight we're going to talk about the Citizens Theatre.
Indeed.
So, Citizens Theatre is a Victorian theatre which is based in the Gorbals area of Glasgow. Was originally called the Royal Princess Theatre and opened in 1878, or built in 1878. And then it changed its name to the Citizens Theatre later on. What else do we know about it? It's one of the theatres that actually has retained some of its Victorian architectural features, and it's undergone quite a lot of kind of restoration and extensions over the years. Originally it seated 2,500 customers, and over the years it kind of dwindled down to 500, with 500 for the main auditorium, and it's got 2 studios, which I'm not sure how much it holds, but it's got 2 studios as well.
They're like mini theatres.
Are they? I've never been in. I can't remember being in the little. Oh yes, I do actually. I do remember being in them. We've investigated in there before, which we'll talk about in a wee minute. I know that the original glass, before we actually go on any further, it's been renovated at the moment and it's due to open again next year. So what we're telling you tonight is what we've experienced when we were in, what we saw, and it's a surprise really what's going to be like in 2022.
Yeah, what's it gonna be like when it reopens.
But when we were in it, the original glass ceiling was still up, and as far as I know, they're going to keep that. What else to tell you about it? What have you got? Because I'm going to go and talk about ghosts in a wee minute.
Well, the Citizens is very important to Britain's theatrical heritage, because it is Britain's oldest fully functioning professional theatre, which is still in use and which still retains its original auditorium and stage. This leaves the Grand Theatre in Leeds, which opened 6 weeks prior to the Citizens. So that would still have been in 1878. But it's had all its stage and machinery destroyed about 40 years ago, which makes the Citizens Theatre a national treasure. I do remember when we were approached by the Citizens for doing events there, that the committee had said that because the auditorium and the stage and all of the stage mechanisms and workings were still the originals from 1878, that was all going to be retained. And it was just going to be the foyer area that was going to be rebuilt, demolished and rebuilt.
Really?
But well, hopefully it will be.
Some of the pictures that we're going to put on, you'll see the original statues which were in front of the building. The statues, there's 6 of them.
There's six statues which originally sat at the top of 6 pillars on the front of the building. And when it was first built up until the 70s, I think it was, the front of the Citizens looked like a Greek building, so it had like the pillars on the front of it. So there were 6 statues at the top of each pillar on the roofline. One was Shakespeare, one was Burns, and the other 4 were what they call the 4 muses, which were music, dance, tragedy and comedy. They were all saved in the 70s when the front part of the theatre was demolished, and they sat in the foyer of the theatre, which we know. Since it's closed in 2019, those statues have been sent away for restoration, and they've just, I think in November there,
They've come back.
They've come back fully restored, and as far as I know, they're to be put back on the roofline when it reopens.
Which will be amazing because they're lovely.
Yeah, they're really, really nice. They're really big as well, aren't they?
They're huge, yeah. Yeah, that'd be quite nice. Put them back up because it's definitely. If you look at the pictures that we've got running along your screen from like the old days to now, and then they're going to put them back up again. It looks a lot better. Another wee thing just to say to you that in 1952, probably a lot of you have heard of the what's his name, the circus, Chipperfield.
Chipperfield,
Chipperfield, I keep saying Copperfield, but that was Magician, wasn't it? The Chipperfield Circus used to come to Glasgow quite a lot, and in 1952, again, there's some photos coming up as well. They had a parade through the Gorbals of a herd of elephants, which I think that's amazing how close people were allowed to go. Health and safety would have an absolute meltdown if they seen that now. Anyway, which leads us on to there's a little tale, fable, whatever you want to call it, about an elephant who the circus performed in the Citizens, and one of the elephants was tied up and got a bit panicked, I think, and got out from the ropes, got let loose basically, and went on a rampage. There's not much evidence to say what happened after that, or if anyone was hurt or anyone was killed. If it just got away, it just escaped. I don't know. We're not very sure, but yeah, it's quite an interesting wee story. And interestingly, when we were there investigating, we did strangely pick up animals in one of the dressing rooms, didn't we? I think it was yourself.
No, in one of the dressing rooms you were doing transfig experiments.
Right.
And the monkey appeared.
Yeah, we got a monkey appearing
on one of the guests' faces.
For those of you who don't know what transfig, we use a red light and we put it under someone's chin, a volunteer's chin, and we ask spirit to come forward and stand in front of that person so as we can see what they would maybe look like when they were with us. And yeah, we got a man who looked like a monkey.
That's right.
Didn't know any tales about the circus at this point.
No, I remember the first time I walked into the auditorium and but as a psychic I saw monkeys swinging from the light fittings in the main auditorium, and I was really perplexed by it because I had absolutely no idea that the circuses used theatres in the Victorian times.
There was a smell in one of the rooms, the dressing rooms, and one of the other mediums had said that she could smell monkeys and animals in that room, and we kind of had a laugh and didn't think much of it, but there you go. So probably was that.
Well, I think we actually said it was 50 actors or something at the time.
Yeah, feet, 50 shoes that were kicking about at the time, because there was wardrobes and things with some clothes and things in it. So the other ghost stories from the Citizens, we'll tell you what we found when we investigated it before, but the other ghost stories are one member of staff was trapped in the upper circle during a blackout, and this person was apparently led to safety by the distinctive outline of a monk who directed her to the way out, and she got out, or he got out quite safely. That's a wee well-known ghost story. There have been a few reportings, particularly in the 70s. Customers in the dress circle often used to say that there was a costumed actor who sat on the balcony and just sat and stared at them. And I'm pretty sure we did see that when we were there.
We did see that, yeah.
Yeah. And apparently current staff have caught glimpses of a white lady who's dressed in a Victorian costume. And she moves about, she kind of floats about. Did you? Did you see her while we were there?
Yeah, she was on the balcony.
Backstage, one of the dressing rooms, room 7, is supposed to be haunted. Noises and apparitions of a girl. And I think the most frequent sighting of a ghost is the strawberry seller, and it's a young girl, obviously. Name says it all. She sells strawberries, and they see her. They see her in the auditorium selling strawberries. When we were there investigating it, David and I had left one of our dolls, haunted dolls, on a window ledge, and went off to do something and came back an hour or so later. No one had been near us at our end of the building, and our doll had come right off the window ledge. and was lying on the floor. And we're quite particular. What we usually do is pleat this particular doll's hair, and put our 2 pigtails down the front. And again, we came back, and one was round the back, and one was hanging down the front. So someone had been playing with this doll. Yeah. What else have we had? We've had...
We heard footsteps going on that corridor as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we've had footsteps. We've had, as I've said, we had an apparition. We've had a few crew who saw apparitions in the balcony.
That's right.
We had our mag lights going off. We had kitten balls flashing.
Quite a lot of EVPs as well.
Yep. So yeah, we've had quite a lot of activity in the citizens, and hopefully we'll be able to go back one day when it's refurbed and up and running.
No, it's I think because it's got such a long history, there's been so much that's happened in it. I think it's one of these places that's always going to deliver activity.
Yeah, there have been quite a few famous people who have actually performed in there. We've had Robbie Coltrane, did you say?
Robbie Coltrane.
Robert
Carlyle. Alan Cumming.
Pierce
Brosnan. And
who was the other person we've seen? There's been quite a few over the years doing panto and what have you.
I can't remember.
So yeah, we'll pop on some photos underneath, and you can see all the kind of the famous actors over the years. Obviously, we're far too young to remember any of them, but but you can have a look anyway. So I think that's all about the citizens tonight.
Yes, it's a very interesting venue, and if you ever get the chance to go and have a look in it or watch a show, then you should. Yeah. And if anybody's got any experiences of the citizens or know anything, if you can send us a message or leave a comment.
That would be lovely. And again, just through this whole pandemic thing, stay safe, and thank you for listening. I'm not sure where we'll be next weekend, but we will pop back on with another story. And take care, and we'll speak to you soon.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye.